So we have another relation that we're going to graph. And they give us a little bit of information. They want us to graph it, they want us to use a table of values, and they want us to select integers for x starting with -3 and ending with 3. Okay, so that helps me out a little bit. I have a little bit of direction here for my table of values. So here's x, here's y. I'm going to start with -3. I'm not going to pick weird, fractions and decimals. I'm just going to stick with integers here. And they want me to actually calculate, what is that, 7 ordered pairs. Okay, now this graph, this relation here, this equation, looks similar to the one we did in the last video, but it is different. So I have y equals 4 minus x squared. So I'm going to take each of these points 7 times. I'm going to take each x value, plug it in, and calculate the y value. So the first one, I'm going to put in -3. Here's what it looks like. I have a -3 for x, and I'm squaring it. Now you have to follow the order of operations here. You'll have to go y equals 4 minus 9. And I'm going to run out of space, so I'm going to put -5 over here. Okay? -5. Now that is the ordered pair -3, -5. And a lot of times I don't write the ordered pair over here, but I'm just trying to help you see it. Okay, now let's continue to the next one. Now we're going to plug in -2. That's going to give us 4 minus 4, which is going to be 0. All right. Now we're going to plug in -1, which is going to be 4 minus 1, which is 3. I know I'm going to run out of room, so I'm trying to squeeze it in there. All right, we just keep going. We're going to put in 0. 0 squared is just 0, so 4 minus 0 is 4. And then we're going to put in 1. Well, that's going to be 4 minus 1, which is 3. Now notice that's the same as what we got here. That should make some sense to us because when you square a -1, that's the same as squaring a +1, right? So we get this repeating value here of 3. Let me put in the 3. All right. And at this point, you might say, oh, well, I think I know what's going to happen next, but we'll write it out. So I have 4 minus 4, which is 0. Again, we see that matching up, 0 and 0, right? Okay. And then the last one, you could probably figure it out, but let's just double check in case we made a mistake. Y equals 4 minus 3 squared, or 4 minus 9, which is -5. Okay, so now we're going to take each of these ordered pairs. Let me write them out real quick. I don't normally do this, but I will for this problem. Give you one more example where you can see the ordered pairs. Usually I just go by the chart. But there they all are. And then we're going to graph those. I'll be graphing the points in orange. So I'm going to start up here at the top, -3, 1, 2, 3. Down 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then -2, 0 is right there. -1, 3. And 0, 4. Then we have 1, 3. And 2, 0. And 3, -5. Okay. That's how the ordered points graph. Now on the graphing, there's often a little bit of inaccuracy because it's really hard to line things up and our lines are crooked or whatever. So don't worry about that. Just do your best. Okay. But in order to represent all the ordered pairs, because we could have values for x like 2.1 and 7.5 and things like that. We didn't choose those for our table of values because we didn't want to make it any harder than we had to. But we have to represent all the ordered pairs. To do that, we connect these points. With that kind of curvy line. And notice that I have arrows here at the end to show that it continues in that pattern. Okay? This is actually called a parabola. We'll talk about parabola. We'll talk about those more in other sections. But this is how we graph. We get a table of values, we graph the ordered pairs, and then we connect the dots. Okay? All right.